Hello everyone and happy Wednesday. Today I'm coming on with my preemie baby girl Iyla Malone. She is the Maia kit by Priscilla Lopez, and she's my little preemie 15-inch tall baby girl. And today what I wanted to do is participate in Theme Thursday, PJ Saturday, and also a tag. Yes, it's a 3-question tag by Lovesme Somerebornbabies, and the name of the tag is Things That Make You Go, Yes, and I agree, because when I overlooked the questions, I had to think about it there for a minute. Yeah, so actually this is my second time making this video. My camera had cut off, and as you can see, I had already dressed Iyla. But what I decided to do is she does need her feeding. Yeah, she is due for another feeding. So I'm going to go ahead and feed her. Then maybe change her pampers. I did change her pampers during the time I fed her, but you know, sometimes after good feeding, you tend to need to change their pampers again. All right, so let me get started. My paper keep blowing away. Okay, first question. Okay, so as you can see, I'm gonna go ahead and feed Iyla. So she's still knocked out. My first question is, do you like your dolls to be signed by the artist? Why or why not? Okay, I had to think about this question for a minute. You know, in thinking about it, I can understand why it's important for an artist to sign the body of their babies when they have completed the babies, or even for some artists like sculptors to sign the bodies of their kit that they have sculpted. So I can understand the importance in that, and I've learned that a few of the sculptors does it, like at the doll shows. You have a few that actually sign the bodies of their babies, and a few of the new artists, when I say new artists, well, artists in general, have also started signing their babies' bodies when they reborn their babies. I can understand why they would particularly be interested in it, but I think that for myself as a collector, I don't think it's as important to me as maybe signing the COA. Yeah, you know, if they can personally sign the COA, I would prefer that. But I don't have any ill feelings about them signing the body as long as it's done in a neat way, meaning that if the artist is careful to use a marker or a pen that doesn't smudge, because you don't want to sign your signature and then the signature smudges. It tends to look very untidy then, or even if they sign it too big, or if they sign it in the wrong spot, I would think that they would be considerate of the collector and sign it in a way that's hidden, like when the diaper is on, that it's hidden. So if they're very mindful and respectful and does it neatly, then I honestly have no issues with it. But if it's done in a way that I think like there was no consideration for the collector, they just very, very untidy, then yeah, I would have some issues about that and possibly change the body. And if I was to resell, that I would give the mummy an option if she wants the original body that the artist had signed, or whether she wants to go with the body that I had replaced. But looking at it, like I said, I don't have any ill feelings about it as long as it's done in a respectable way, meaning that the artist did consider the collector by signing it in the proper place, like not in the back of the, not in the middle of the back of the body. Do it on the bum and in a spot where when the diaper is on, it's not seen, and a proper pen that doesn't smudge. Yeah, then it's fine with me actually. Question number 2. If you have a doll, reborn or silicone, that needs a little touch-up work and the original artist cannot do the work that you need done, do you think it is okay to commission another artist to do the work for you? If so, do you think it changes the value of the doll? Yeah, like things that make you go, yeah. See, it is for any collector. If you've noticed some changes in your doll, like a little paint fading or a little hair loss, of course you would want your original artist to do a little touch up if possible. But if they're not able to for whatever reason, then I think it's up to the collector or the mummy to be selective as to who they choose to do the touch up. Maybe they can do some research to find out like which artist does that service, or like little touch-ups, because I don't think there's many artists that does that, like touch up over another artist's work. But if there is a few that does it, to do your research, because you want to make sure that the work that's done, the touch-up work, is done properly. You don't want to have someone ruin the doll more, or there being a different issue after the doll have returned to you because maybe the artist had made a mistake or had done something wrong. You don't want that to happen. So if do your research first. If you find an artist that does really good work and they can touch up the doll and make the doll look just as good or even better, if that's possible, then I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't see anything wrong with it. And in terms of changing the value, I don't think it takes away from the value. There seems to be different views about the high-end silicone dolls. Like when there's work done to the doll or touch-ups or a little rooting, there seems to be, I don't know, like a difference in opinion. But for me, I don't see anything wrong with it if it's done by a very good artist. Like not a beginner, but depending on the doll. If it's a very high-end doll, then you want to make sure that the artist has a few references, like persons that they have already, their work is out there. Maybe you can contact a collector or contact a mummy and ask their opinion in terms of the work that was done on their doll, stuff like that. Because you don't want to take away from the value. Because if you go to an artist that gives you a bum job, that's going to take away from the value of the doll actually. Yeah, so you just want to make sure do your homework in selecting a person that will do the touch up and do it the proper way, that it doesn't take away from the doll. Oh, my Iyla is finished with this bottle. Let me tell you, she can eat. This girl, she has a very, very good appetite. Let me burp her. Okay, so question number 3 is, what is something you have learned about yourself, good or not so good, since you've started collecting reborns or silicone dolls? Come, baby, you need to burp. Psh. Oh, that's good. That was a quick one. That was a quick burp. Okay, what have I noticed or learned about myself? I learned that I don't have the self-control not to keep adding dolls to my collection. I've learned that. And I think that that is a terrible thing, actually. It's a good and a bad thing. And bad thing meaning if I'm not careful, I can do harm. When I say do harm, I'm going to go ahead and just check her Pampers to make sure it's okay. Because after feeding, we know what can happen. Oh my goodness, ladies, did I mention to you that this is a Theme Thursday video? I don't remember if I did. Today is Theme Thursday. And the theme for today is dinosaurs and also rompers. So my big girl is participating in the theme dinosaurs and also PJ Saturday. Yeah, like I said, this is my second video. The first video that I made, I dressed Iyla. I had changed her Pampers, I had done all of that, and my battery went dead. And I have no clue as to when it cut off. So I just decided to come back on. I didn't want to take off her PJs, and redress her. So I just decided that, hey, her feeding is due. So I'll go ahead and feed her and participate in my tag at the same time. Yes. So, what was I saying? Like I was saying, what I've noticed, what I've learned about myself. I kept telling myself I'm just going to check her Pampers. I gave myself a limit. I first started off collecting the reborn with one in mind. Then after collecting one, I decided, hey, I wanted another. My first one was a girl. Then I decided I wanted a boy. Then I said, you know what? I want 2 girls and a boy in the same order of my biological children. And now today, I have 7 in total in my home. I have 2 reborns to come and 1 silicone, which is 10. I'm already 1 baby over my limit. My limit was 9 and I'm up to 10. So I've learned about myself that, hey, I really don't have the control that I hope to have in collecting these beautiful babies. Yeah, I really don't. And I'm okay. When I decided to add my silicone, I looked at my collection and I wondered, like, who can I adopt out to add in my silicone? And honestly, that was the hardest thing for me to actually choose a baby. So I said to myself, you know what? Well, actually, what I really said to myself is the 2 that I'm expecting, I wish I was able to adopt one out, except that they're not created to adopt out. There's one that I'm looking forward to come, but the toddler, I'm thinking twice on the toddler, because I had let me turn her over on her stomach. I had decided on the toddler before I had added the masterpiece dolls to my collection. But after having the Masterpiece dolls, I really don't need a toddler. But I thought about changing, but I mean, I really don't want to run my artists around. So I just decided to continue with the two that is expected to come. And then maybe I will adopt one out. Maybe. Yeah, she drank this whole bottle. Yeah. So she's pretty good. Yeah, so I'm thinking that, maybe I will adopt a toddler out. I'm thinking about it. And that way my total will be 9. That was my limit. Yes, ladies, I've learned that this hobby is extremely addictive. It really is. Because it seems as if as you grow in the hobby, it seems that growing is also a part of collecting more realistic looking doll, more realistic feeling doll, meaning I know for some persons silicone is not their thing, but for others it is, because the silicones are made today to feel and look more like skin, so it's more realistic looking. So as you grow, growing is basically learning more of what you like and what you don't like, and also in achieving the most realistic looking and feel the most realistic looking doll, and the way the doll feels, the way it moves, the way it's sculpted, yes, and all of the accessories that comes along with it. So it's just cha-ching, cha-ching. You pay for all of that, and it's addictive because it's fun. And these dolls, we become so emotionally involved. Like whenever I have guests, when my husband invite guests in, or right away my antennas goes up. I'm thinking, okay, he best not show them around in my bedroom. Show them around in the house, yes, but my bedroom is off limits if I'm not around, because I would like to secure my dolls by like putting the blankets over the dolls. I'm at a point now that I'm not even looking to have conversations about my dolls. The ones that's in my living room, yes, because those are just displayed dolls. But in terms of my reborn dolls, I really don't want any conversation about my reborn dolls. So I just cover them up. Whenever I have guests, if I think that my husband is going to, because there are some persons that haven't seen the house, and when they come over for the first time, he likes to show them around, or they may ask a question indirectly asking to see the house, So therefore, he'll take them around and show them the rooms. And one time there was, I don't know, someone he had showed the house to. I wasn't home, and I had asked him, like, did you show them the bedroom? My thing is, do not show anyone my bedroom if I'm not home. And like I told him, that's our private space. If somebody wants to see the house, then show them the main areas except my bedroom. And I don't want to come out to him and say, listen, I don't want anybody seeing my dolls. I don't want to say that. Not that I don't want them seeing my dolls. I just don't want the conversation. I don't. One time, yes, because I always thought that, I don't want to deprive anyone from this beautiful hobby. If there's a chance that someone may be interested, but in doing that, I learned they don't seem to be interested. All they want to know is, how did you get into it, and why you adding this, and are you buying the clothes, and like all the questions. And I'm really not for it. I mean, some of them are not even aware of how insulting their questions are, because when you ask somebody like what made you get into it, you know, it gives you this feeling as if you've done something wrong. If you see someone has a hobby, you just, I mean, if you're sincere, you just compliment them, say, well, the dolls are beautiful, and you move on. As well as you don't say anything and you move on. But the questions, you know, I'm just really not for the question. I'm at that point. I'm not into the questions. So I don't care to show any guests my reborn dolls. I really just don't. So yeah, so like I said, that is something that I've learned about myself. I learned that I don't have that self-control, and it's hard. This hobby is so addictive, and it's really hard not to. Especially, see, it's easy not to if you don't have the funds, because if you don't have the funds, you cannot purchase it. And for those that have the means to say adopt out, then fine. I mean, I think that's a great thing. You adopt out to bring in a new. But the problem with that is sometimes you're so attached to the ones that you have, it's hard to adopt out. And I experienced that just a few weeks ago. I looked at my babies, and there was actually no babies I wanted to part from. So you know, I keep telling myself that 9 is my max, and if I go over that, I don't hope to go, because come on. I mean, it's so addictive. I cannot even really stick to the number 9, but I'm at a point now where if there's one that I can live with letting go, I will. So the toddler that I'm expecting, when that's completed, I probably would put that one up for adoption before she arrived to me. Yeah, I probably would. But once she arrived to me, I just might hold on to her, because I've tweaked her a little bit. And when I say I've tweaked her a little bit, she's a straight leg standing toddler, and I had purchased bent legs for her. So actually she would have 2 bodies. She would have the body with the straight leg and the body with the bent leg. Yes, because like I said, after having my masterpiece dolls, I really don't need another standing doll. I really don't need one. Yeah. So that's it, everyone. So me and Iyla, we're going to say goodbye to everyone. And thank you so much, Miss Shannon from Lovesme Somerebornbabies, for the tag. I really enjoyed it, and it is something that make you go, it is something to think about. And thank you all so much for watching, and you have a super great day. Bye-bye.